Okay, now I'm gonna make a second video. I just did the video on Rose McGowan and Courtney Love and other people that have nice things to say about him, and that's for that. Go watch it if you want to. Because I can see the good of certain people, and I don't think the whole Me Too movement is bad. I don't think the whole, you know, 2020, 2021 feminism is bad. But there's definitely a few bad apples out there. And I don't want to be radical and just put everybody in the same basket. So I will separate some from the rest. When it comes to Evan Rachel Wood, I think I have the theory that she did all this so her friends could name him in time. So what I'm trying to say is she changed. I can't believe an actress could pass. I mean, no disrespect to actors out there, but I mean, an actress could pass a law on Congress in many states. Not every state, but pretty much in a lot of states. I think it's like at least 22 states, and of course, it's in California. We're under that law right now. Phoenix Act is something that it can be positive, but it can be negative too. Let me explain to you. If something happens to me today, all right now, whatever, my perception of reality can be altered by a lot of situations around stress, drugs, you name it. And then in like 10 years, like 7 years ago, like, well, that night in 2021, at the end of May, this happened to me. I think that this happened to me, but I'm not sure. I can just create so much, in our brains. We can tell ourselves whatever the fuck we want to tell ourselves. And let's say I can daydream and I can imagine somebody abuse me, or a woman or a guy. It's not to be a guy. Or something happened to me, or my children say something horrible, they abuse me, and then I can really make myself believe that, especially if I have 10 more years to do so, to make up a story. So the Phoenix Act give women and men, but mostly women, we know what this whole thing was designed for. A lot of time, it's based on this whole healing process and how it might take a lifetime. First of all, that's true, but not necessarily with these people that we're talking about. Didn't take them a lifetime. It take them 10 years or 9 years. So what about if Esme Bianco and Evan were working so hard on this law so they could just so Ashley Morgan and Ashley Walters and Esme could take him to court and try to put him in jail or try to get damages, because nobody's asking for jail time. Did you notice they're asking for damages, which is cash, a fancy word for cash. So passing this law kind of makes Ashley Walters and Ashley Morgan's case just easy to go in, because this happened to them 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 10 years ago. Now, I have a problem with the dates. We know that Manson is married. He married under quarantine. Yeah. He married his girlfriend, Lindsay. She's a photographer. Cute, talented. Like, really, she seems so sweet. And paparazzi's all over her face all the time. And she just she seems sweet. It's his wife now, right? Lindsay. But they've been on and off for years, and I don't know the details, and it's none of my business why they were being on and off. But the thing is, while Ashley was working, she was so full of anxiety, right, and depression, but she was working for Manson, getting paid a lot of money for just pretty much doing nothing but buying the guy Red Bull and maybe open the elevator door once in a while. Because personal assistants usually, it depends. You can be really busy, you can be not doing nothing for days, and sometimes you can work for 48 hours. That is the nature of the job. She's a brat because she complained about that. Anyway, a job that she said it starts at 5 p.m. and she works on the weekends mostly because he's a rock star, right? Weekends, party, whatever. So you mean like during the week she had a lot of free time. She didn't work until 5 p.m. I mean, it doesn't seem so bad to me. And there was a lot of perks to the job, wasn't it? And I found something. Somebody found something on Instagram. They sent me. I'm gonna tell you the page because I'm stealing from them, but they're pretty cool and they're following me. I'm following them, so I think it's all good. Together as one against all others. Together as one against all others. That's the name of the page on Instagram, and it's a small page. It's not like the big ones. It's like, I don't know, but I like it because they're smaller. They can actually get more stuff out there, have more time to, get documents and just stuff. But they found this video from this TMZ. It's not TMZ, it's Hollywood, whatever, but it's the same idea. It's like people following you around, chasing you around, asking you questions with cameras on your face. Okay, this video is from 2010, and I recognize this elevator. This is in Hollywood Highland Shopping Mall, and there's a movie theater up there, and I recognize seeing these pictures of Manson and Lindsay at ArcLight movie theater. That is there still. I don't know, it's probably now shut down because of COVID, but I recognize the walls. Anyway, there's a parking lot next to it. That's probably where they were going to, and there's this photographers chasing them around, asking Manson, give her a hug. Who is this woman? Because it's probably one of the first times that he was out, and that she was being seen. I didn't know who she was either when I saw this the first time. You know who was there with them, opening the elevator door and acting like a little scared little duck? Not Lindsay. Well, she's shy. Ashley Walters. And I'm gonna have to put my phone on the camera and be super production zero about it because I don't know how to do it otherwise. I don't know how to put it on the video. This contradicts a lot of stuff. First of all, the fact that on her Ashley Walters on her document talks only about the abuse that happened to Wood, Esme Bianco, and Ashley Morgan and herself, right? Just her bodies. She never talks about Lindsay. She never raised any concern about Lindsay, if Lindsay's okay or what's going on. And when we were there with him at the same time that Lindsay was there, and he was being mean to Lindsay as well, and she might be in danger or nothing. She could have used that, but she didn't. I'll tell you why she didn't. Because there's a lot of proof that when Lindsay was there in the apartment, nothing bad was happening, nothing negative was happening. And there's a lot of proof on Instagram, pictures and videos from TMZ, from Instagram lives, from people taking pictures of them in events, and Ashley being so dumb to like this post. Not that smart of a cookie. No, she's not the brightest star in the sky, for sure. I think Evan and Esme are smarter than Ashley. I don't know. And in this video, the third person that is in there, in the parking lot, dealing with the paparazzi, is Ashley Walters. So she's like a little bit of like a chaperone, and she's, making sure they're not getting to them. And she opens the elevator door and closes the elevator door after Lindsay and Manson go in. And Lindsay has a totally the reaction I would have, please no, but not in a diva type of way. But it's like she's not. What the hell? It's weird. It's awkward. Manson is not that awkward. He's just talking to them, and he says no hugs, more drugs, haha, joke like that. We expect that from him. Third person is Ashley Walters. So I am very freaking confused. It's not the first time that I think about this, and I'm not the first or the last person who posted or thought about this, because the allegations go from 2010 to middle of 2011, and she talks about sneaking food and drinks and water or something. The bathroom has water, so why would we have to sneak water? Sneaking food and water into the bathroom where Esme was locked in, and Evan, because they were too scared of Manson, so they didn't want to come out of the bathroom. So this is like a Disney movie. You just imagine them with big dress, and poor, superhero Ashley is getting the crumbs and the water and taking it to the bathroom where there's two damsels in distress, helpless little girls are waiting there for the food and the water that Ashley is going to give them. They are in a bathroom. Why they need to be given water? I get the food thing, but why water? Also, there was no food in the house. Remember how Esme said there was no food in the house? They were always doing cocaine and cocaine and vodka and whiskey, even if we know Manson does not drink. He drank, he's abstinent, his own drinks, and he drank for so long that he got too messed up and he got to quit. I can't say anything about the cocaine, it's not my business, but yeah, it's bad for you, don't do it. But Ashley and Esme and Wood and Ashley Morgan, the two Ashleys, talk about the cocaine and talk about the sleep deprivation, the food deprivation. Manson is not that skinny. I mean, I'm not trying to body shame, but he looked really, he had a couple moments that he doesn't look very healthy, but he looked healthy for a while and even gained a little bit of weight. He doesn't look like he's starving. That's somebody that has food in their house. So the whole thing about her sneaking food into the bathroom to give it to the other women might be true, but then if that's true, then they shouldn't put the freaking there was nothing to eat in the house thing. It's like, make up your mind. If there was nothing to eat in the house, then how come you were sneaking food for other people? And sneaking water in the bathroom is going to down. There's water there anyway. Besides, Evan was not with Manson in 2010, right? Unless they were hooking up, but they broke up before that. So there's like all these weird dates, you know. It's almost like Manson slept with all these women in 1 year, a lot of them, and then stopped. and then before that, he was, you know, faithful. He got a few girlfriends and fiancés and one wife. So he was being a good boy, and then went crazy and then stopped. I don't believe it. I think when somebody's like that, they just keep going until the wheels come off. If they're like a womanizer or whatever, or a hardcore drug addict. He's an addict, but he's not hardcore drug addict. He rehabilitated himself. Just like Courtney Love, just like Billy Corgan, just like a lot of people. Not everybody is out there to destroy themselves, even if they did it in the past. People change and people grow, and people choose a different path in life. So even if you are ignorant, you might think, oh man, he looks so wasted. But we know this is just Manson's. This is his voice. This is how he talks. He looks pale. He's freaking pale. And a lot of the times people think he's wasted, or that he's being a bit of a, you know, like dark or bad sense of humor, where he says no drugs, no hugs, just drugs. That's his. You might find that funny or dumb. It don't matter, but it doesn't mean that he is a drug dealer selling drugs in the parking lot. He's hugging his girlfriend, hiding her from the paparazzi, and the one person that is there to kind of push the elevator door and kind of do this, so they stop taking pictures, is Ashley Walters. Why Ashley Walters never said on her filing nothing about Lindsay being in trouble, Lindsay being in danger, Lindsay being locked in the bathroom. So we know from the past that he is a relationship guy. I'm not saying that he never cheated on people before. Who hasn't? Who hasn't told a lie, you know, once in a while? But he is a bit of a relationship guy. He was with Rose for years, got engaged, then got married to Dita. Not for too long, but then they got divorced, and then he got with Everett Wood, couple years, engaged. Like, he seems to want to marry them. You know, he keeps throwing rings at these people, seems like. And then after, so this is, I'm counting 3 long relationships. These 3 people, he put them in his music videos, and he made songs for them, or got some aesthetic from them and collaborate with them in some type of way. Rose in the song Coma White in the music video, Dita on the Mob Scene music video that she has a whole minute on the music video that she is dancing on the martini glass, doing her teas, and it's really cool. And then we have Evan in the Heart-Shaped Glasses music video. So really an abuser and somebody who put women down and treat them like shit will do this? I don't think so. I just thought about this like tonight. I was like, wait, he put the 3 of them in his music videos. And probably dedicated songs. We know the Coma White was straight up wrote for Rose McGowan. Heart-Shaped Glasses, straight up. And then Mob Scene, I don't know, but I think the whole thing, the Golden Age of Grotesque, the whole album and the music video on that album are heavily influenced by Dita in the whole 1930s, 1940s, after World War II type of thing, aesthetic. And yes, he put it on the video, and she's doing her dancing on the video, like featuring herself, kind of like getting her minute right there. I'm not saying that he does this to put them down. I'm saying he does this to put them up. And not like you need your boyfriend to give you a break. No, I'm not saying that. But he collaborated with them. That's what I'm trying to say. Damn, I hope that message goes through. So I'm kind of tired. And you know when I put my hair up, that it's time for bed. But I'm having my tea. I look 20 years older with this. It's like a weird version of Amy Winehouse. I don't know. Don't matter. Point is, I have a problem with the date. I have a problem with Ashley not being concerned about Lindsay. I don't think Lindsay ever got abused. But let's say there was something there. Ashley has not named Lindsay at all. No concern. The same from Wood, the same from Ashley Morgan. When Ashley Morgan had the chance to talk in People's Magazine cover of the moment, which it really pissed me off, but I love it has so many thumbs down on YouTube. That video has, everybody that I know has been clicking, thumb down on that video. I hope they don't put it on the top anymore. It pissed me off that after my videos or all the videos supporting Manson, I see Ashley Morgan video right there. How do they do that? It's because we're saying her name or how? YouTube is very strange. Because I'm not promoting her. Probably we should stop using her name. I don't know. But she's always on the top top of the browser. Even after my videos or Connor Kurt's videos or Greta or the Demi Hacker videos, she's always up there. It's really strange because you're making a video against them and support Manson or support Johnny, and then you have at the top of the browser there's Ashley Morgan. And her People's Magazine cover, she does not talk about Lindsay again. And she was in the apartment at the same time this on and off relationship was going on. Then she's saying this whole thing about getting raped 300 times. I do not want to make fun. Come on. And then, Howard King, which is Manson's attorney, I look him up. He's really one of the best sharks in town. And when I say shark, I mean good lawyers. There's a lot of lawyers. Lawyers are generally good because in order to be a lawyer, you gotta throw some people under the bus to become good and work for this type of people, and usually do a good job. So he got one of the best. Anyway, Howard King said that this whole thing was a fabrication because Manson doesn't want to give the money, okay, which is what we all thought that could be the deal. It's not about justice. It's not about putting him in jail. It's not about feminism. Not only that, but he also says that Ashley Walters and Ashley Morgan are suing for damages, for money. It's a civil lawsuit, not a criminal. If it was a criminal lawsuit, we would not be able to read these documents. We'll have to wait, like O.J. Simpson. That was a criminal lawsuit. We'll have to wait until we see it on TV. We would not be able to go and put the case number and read it if it was a criminal lawsuit, if he was really, really in trouble. So the fact that they're suing for damages is like the poor man money. To call Manson cashes the poor man, is the poor man money. Well, damages is the poor women money. So I don't want to make fun of somebody saying that they got raped, but when she says 300 times in one weekend, Howard King, his attorney, says that Ashley, that he doesn't deny Evan having a relationship or Esme. He kind of acknowledged that without saying it, but he says that Ashley never had a relationship with Manson. So if it was a hookup and you see some pictures of them together in some club or whatever, and she's like all over him and he's all over her, like you would expect when hooking up with people. I don't know. And I think that happened between their breaks they were taking with his now wife. And that's something the guys do and the people do. And there's nothing really dirty about it by hooking up with people. Imagine if all of us are being judged. Imagine if you're being judged by the way you're dressing, by the way your makeup is, by the people you sleep with. It will be exhausting, right? So I don't buy it for so many ways, so many reasons. Okay, got raped 300 times in one weekend, got no food, sleep deprivation, all that. And then she got cut by this knife, right? And then she got cut by this knife. They never said Evan and Esme. Evan mentioned a knife in her first deposition and her first thing for the Phoenix ad. She mentioned a knife. She never said a Nazi knife. You will think that that would give her some clout, and then that's something that she would like to mention. There was a Nazi knife, so it was somewhat dramatic. She didn't. She said just a knife. So I think, and a lot of people think, I'm not just a genius, but we think that they added the Nazi word next to the knife because we know what that is going to. That represents one of the most evil, if it's not the most evil thing that ever happened, and that hits people's hearts. Even if you're not around in that part, we all have either family or we know somebody that have family. That's gonna, right? So saying the word Nazi is it's one of those key words, not a fancy word, one of those key words. If you put the word Nazi before any other word, it's gonna get people emotional. So one of the evil things that ever happened to the world. Okay, so they add the word Nazi before the word knife, only because those pictures came out of Evan with the mustache that she made to herself with either eyeliner or mascara, black. There was it was not a whisker, it wasn't a hat, it was mustache. And what is she doing, like representing like a chef in Halloween, like with what was, we know what it was, the mustache and the black hat. Although, however, she said the hat was Manson. Manson was shown in many photo shoots wearing the hat. It's not necessarily a Nazi hat. It's a hat that it looks like an European hat. Could be German, it could be Polish, whatever. It looked kind of Nazi-ish. It's just a freaking hat. If you add the mustache to the hat, and if you add the knife that has a little bit of cocaine, right, and she's like this, and she's like posing. It's not even like a party pose. It's like she's posing, like it's a movie poster, and it is a bit of a vintage looking, European looking knife. You can see that it's not an American knife. You can see that thing didn't come from Texas. You can see that it's vintage from Europe. I don't know if it's a Nazi knife, but let's say it's a Nazi knife. So why right now they're talking about the Nazi knife? Because of these pictures of wood with a Nazi gig outfit going on, and the knife and the mustache. And then Rachel Wood went on Instagram and said that this is the reason why she was afraid to talk. She feels brave now, but she didn't talk for so long because Manson forced her to take pictures with Nazi paraphernalia and Nazi outfits to blackmail her later. Well, thanks to Leslie Lane and Instagram and all the people that went to that party and took pictures and want to tell the truth about what's going on, they posted all over Instagram, and Wood got mad. Evan got mad, right? So then now Ashley Walters, which is the last lawsuit that we have, added the word Nazi to it. Oh, gotta be a Nazi knife. It's pretty obvious why it has to be a Nazi knife and not just a knife. And then Ashley Morgan, talking to People's Magazine, also said he caught me with a Nazi knife. And then he talks about branding. A person is like you brand, like they do with cows in the farm, like they with something hot or fire or something hot. Brand, not caught, not scratch. It's a brand, right? So it leaves a marking for the rest of your life or for a lot long. It's not a tattoo, it's a brand. Why she didn't show those pictures of the branding in People's Magazine and People's little feature they gave her? Why she showed something weird on her leg that it looks like something that, like when you scratch yourself too much, or if you have any type of, like I have a skin condition that makes like these little things. I should not be, this is kind of gross, but bear with me. This thing makes the skin dry. It looks like that, what she has on there. So could it be just a thing that she has chronically, or it could be her doing this from stress or right before the camera started? I don't know. Doesn't seem like a cat to me. Doesn't seem like a cut. Doesn't matter if it's a Nazi knife or not. Doesn't seem like a cut, period. And showing the picture of a branding with fire, with the heat, will be more effective. Not like I'm gonna believe that anyway, but it will be more effective. But she didn't. Ashley Walters present a whole document. It's like 80. Oh my god, that is the longest one to read. I have a video that I read the whole thing. My god, it's really long. And on that one, she also talks about branding and Nazi knives, but she didn't show any pictures of herself branded or cut with a Nazi knife. And what gets me the most, everything gets me, but the thing that I found it really laughable is the whole. It sounds like like a Disney movie, and she's going to the bathroom, saving these girls and a little, and like a little fairy, a fairy godmother, and give them food and water. I don't. If there's one thing I don't believe, it's that one. That's the main one that I don't believe because it's ridiculous. First of all, Wood wasn't there. Bianco maybe was there hanging out, hooking up with him. Maybe she was in the bathroom. Maybe she locked herself in the bathroom for some other whatever reason. Maybe she was doing cocaine in the bathroom. Who the fuck knows? Maybe they were playing a game of mice and cat chasing each other. I don't know. But the fact that maybe it was just a funny thing to do. But the fact that Ashley's saying that she snuck food and water into the bathroom. And then we know Manson was not really skinny per se, without bashing him. He looked quite healthy. He looked like a person who has food in their house. So there's these things that they are little and they could just be, the reason that I and a lot of people on YouTube and on Instagram don't believe a lot of this shit is because there's little details. It's not because the big ones. I think that when there's little details, those are the ones you have to pay attention to. Because if you lie once, you can lie twice. If you lie about the branding, you can lie about the rape. If you lie about the food, you can lie about the rape. So that's kind of how I see it. Oh my God, I'm under only 30 minutes? Wow. Because I'm going on things that I already said before, so it's easier for me. In my other video, I read Rose McGowan's book, all the positive things she said about Manson, also Courtney Love saying positive things about Manson. So I already did that, got that out of my system. That's something that I really wanted to do, throw some positivity out there, and also add to all the charities in the I don't want to call it charities, but yeah, charities and organizations and things that he's been giving money through the years to those people. And he's not a person who's gonna go out there like Angelina Jolie or somebody and like Amber tried to do and go on to the Middle East or whatever and say that they're helping. No, he usually does it locally. And there's a school, it's called School of Rock, the Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. I know this because I live here. He works there. And there's a little place in Los Feliz, which is a town, where Gwen Stefani lives. A lot of people live there, kind of low-key people. There's this music school that, of course, they get paid to go, to teach there. It's kind of expensive. But they usually get one or two kids, like a bit of a scholarship, you call it, and they give them music instruments in free classes. And they usually pick somebody who is super talented. Manson found, I don't know if he's doing it anymore, but Manson found that organization for years. And you can tell, well, it's not saving the kids that are starving in Africa. Well, because he's trying to do local stuff. He also was given money, I don't know, portions of the record or the book or something, to this organization in Los Angeles that is an animal shelter. It's a no-kill animal shelter, and you can totally see it. He's obsessed with animals and cats. And he used to do this little, they don't seem like big, just little things here and there. And those are the details. And that in court is called character. That's character. Because you don't go to court and you go like, oh, hood. And you go like, yeah, this is a good guy. You don't do that. But, you go and talk about character of a person. I done that before and it works. So you have all these details, right? And all these people saying good things about him. Not the ones that turn against him, but the ones that they're pages and pages write about the details of how good and kind, not perfect. It's not a perfect person. Nobody is, but really a person who is a giver, and collaborate with people, girlfriends and friends like Ashley Walters, and then she stabbed him in the back. Because the whole thing started as she was saying that he found her on Facebook with that sounds shady as F, and wanted to collaborate with her. I don't know why. Who is she that you want to collaborate with her? But let's say that they have friends in common, and she was taking really cool pictures, and Manson was like, "Hey, come over, we're gonna collaborate with you." It seemed weird. Maybe she shouldn't come there in the middle of the night, but it was her choice to do that. And they talk. They're saying they have. I want to see those emails or those text messages when they're talking about what they're gonna do when she goes over, because that is a big piece right there. If he was acting like a dog, saying a bunch of sexual things is one thing, but I don't think so. I think he was just trying to collaborate. Okay, I have this little clip on YouTube that I want to play, and it really makes me sad. I went from like happy to play. I'm not trying to make him look weak, or we get to feel sorry for him. He would hate that shit, right? But it's like, this is a fact. Period. In these videos, he talks about how. Oh, finding my playlist on my phone is gonna be hard, but I can't do the computer right now. In these videos, he talks about having his own version of Andy Warhol's factory. You know, that is like a place that people can have fun and create at the same time. It's not just for cocaine, okay? And he said that he got canvases and paints and movies and books, and this is from his mouth. I'm paraphrasing exactly, he said that. And he wanted to collaborate with people. He was being antisocial, but in a way he was being social with fellow artists. And that is 2010 to 2011ish. So he's talking about Ashley Walters and Ashley Morgan and all these people. And some people that are not even probably there yet because they're men. And the men didn't report him. But I'm sure there was men in that apartment once in a while. It wasn't a bunch of chicks all the time. Anyway, so in this video he talks about collaborating and just getting cool people to share his equipment with, and cameras. I won't be surprised if Ashley was using his cameras for free. And also he talks about this room he was recording at. It's not strange for an artist here in New York, any of these big places, to have a recording studio next to the place they're staying at. They're sleeping at, or their apartment, or their house. Madonna has it, Gaga has it, a lot of people, and nobody says anything weird about that. It's not that abnormal, because it kind of saves them time. They go to the big studio, they gotta go out the street and take the car or whatever the fuck, go to the studio. But this way, if you pop in with some idea, you can just go pop in the studio and just straight up, do it right there, sing it or record it, whatever. This studio, all the people that work for Manson said that this studio, yeah, it was thick, because when you play music, it has to be soundproof, and it has soundproof walls. It was thick, it had to be, but there was no lock in the room, and that makes the whole thing even more bullshit. And you keep, like, you follow my drift right here, you keep, we're finding more things that don't make sense. So even if he had the studio, I do believe he had it, and it was soundproof because it had to be soundproof, then there was no lock in the door, like Paula Baby and some other people have said there was no lock on the door. Also, I find it hard to believe there's no men in this case. The Ashley Walters doesn't say, oh well, yada can they witness the same abuse, and like Amber Heard at least have a little bit smarts. I think he's evil, but Amber Heard's a little bit smarter than this one, and she put men on her witness list, and it makes it more credible, because otherwise it's like, what, all these women accusing him and witnessing everything, and there's no man in there. There's no housekeeping guy, no mechanic, no friend. All women in this apartment, going in and out of the apartment. So Ashley didn't add any men in there, any guys hanging out. The only thing she said was there was an actor who, I don't know if I believe this or not, again, that was making a music video or a short film, because you never know with Manson. It can be abusive, it can be anything, a film, some type of camera filming thing with an actor who we don't know who it is. I hope it's not Johnny Depp. Like, it was during that time when they made that on the Satan video. I hope not. And it could be somebody famous, it could be somebody just a model, an actor, we don't know. And they were in bed, and the guy tried to kiss Ashley, and she didn't really say no. She said that she put her hair like this, and she was pinned, and then the guy tried to kiss her, and she did this again. And then that night she left, or he left. Why she's not naming that guy? Why she's not even referring at the end of the document saying, in time I will name that guy? So if that guy was doing that sleazy stuff to her, what's Manson's fault? Who should have said no to the guy, or go to the police and say that dude over there is being a sleazy ball? She didn't. So the only guy that she mentions in this whole apartment with all these girls is that actor that for some reason she doesn't want to mention. She doesn't want to mention because maybe the guy's high profile, or she doesn't want to mention it because it didn't happen. And I think it's the latest. I don't think that was real. I think if something like that happened, she exaggerated. Like Colonel Kurtz always says in her videos, and other people catch on that too. There's no sense of these women saying no, saying stop, saying no. Even Esme Bianco, when she was asked by the Cut, like a person interview, the journalist very smart asked Esme Bianco, hey, like, did you ever say no? And she said, no, I never say no because I was so afraid of saying no. Okay, so I don't believe that. So you're not taking any responsibility. And you're making me and all the women look like shit. Look like we're a bunch of helpless little pigeons. And I have said no before, and it was respected. If sometimes it is, usually it is. This only happens like once in a while to these high profile people that is so people get raped all the time, every day. But what I'm trying to say is that this is so dramatic, and this is so over the top, and it's so, greedy and for money. Because if you really got assaulted, you want that guy behind bars. Your document will be different. I want him behind bars. I want that fucker to rot in jail. Something like that, right? That's too dramatic, but that's kind of what I will think or say. You don't want damages. You don't want like a couple $200,000 or something. We don't know the amount that Ashley is asking for, but I'm sure it's not that much. And Manson has the money, obviously, to pay her off. I really hope that he doesn't. That's the thing. I feel that maybe some people want him to do it, so we kind of just get over this. But it will be great if they can hold on. I'm sure it's horrible, and eventually just sue them all for defamation, like Johnny's doing. And it's taken Johnny a couple of years to do this, so I kind of foreseeing that it's gonna take a couple of years for Manson. But hey, if you are on the side of the truth, even if it takes you 5 years or 10, it's worth it, So another inconsistency, that there's no man, only this sleazy bald actor, another attacker, abuser. There's no men, like in general, And Manson is saying he has his friends there taking pictures and collaborating, but his friends were all women. Like, it's just, I don't believe it. So I want to see, I'm going to play. Okay, so I found the interview, and it's a clip. Of course, I had it on my playlist right there, but I couldn't see it. My phone is too small. My children will be playing with it. It has butterfingers everywhere. Of course, they're not here. I'm just saying right now, before somebody says something stupid, because I won't be making videos like this if they were here. But they're coming on Monday. That's done. So on this clip, it's kind of sad because he talks about how did he open his house to these people and give them cameras and give them paints and give them probably drugs too, probably food too, and they have a little factory that were making art. And so you just compare this to what Ashley described, and it is completely different. And I kind of just believe he's part of the story, how he described his apartment. And this apartment in West Hollywood, about the liquor store. I know that because he says it in the beginning of the interview, and I know that because I'm seeing it, and it's not that hard. It's like right there. Another thing about that place is there. Yeah, there's a parking lot that is locked from 2 to 7. It's not that rare over there to have that, but there's an exit to the front door. This is above a liquor store. Liquor stores are usually open all night. So why she didn't talk to the liquor store people and say I need help? Anyway, let's say she didn't want to do that because she was afraid of them being weird as well, or abusive or whatever. There's a 7-Eleven. If you don't know what a 7-Eleven is, it's a place you can pretty much get anything from cigarettes, condoms, coffee. But 24 hours. Not across the street, but like 3 blocks away. It's a police station to the west that is about like less than a mile, and those people will get you in. They will talk to you if you go with a problem. They're not gonna be like, oh, it's Marilyn Manson. No, I don't want to hear your problem because we are on his payroll. No, they're cops. They will listen, just like the cops show up at Amber's penthouse, and they didn't give a fuck. There was Amber Heard. They still show up. So there's a police station, this gas station, this is a gas station, this is a 7-Eleven, convenience store, slash liquor store downstairs. I find it hard to believe she's not in the middle of nowhere in like, like I don't know, the desert or something. I find it hard to believe that she couldn't find one place to go ask for help. Another theory I have, didn't heard this from anybody but my own brain, is that maybe she didn't ask for help because she was high and she was embarrassed of what was going on, and maybe she was all messed up. This is probably why she didn't drove his vehicle right away or after 7, and she stayed around all those hours because she probably was waiting to sober up. This is something that is not so hard to believe. If he was forcing her drugs, as she said, and she was taking them, as she said, then she was messed up. She was doing drugs all night, don't you think? Maybe that's why she didn't go to the cops. Not the cops were not going to arrest her, but maybe she was embarrassed. A lot of this case is based on embarrassment and on these women regretting what they did, if they did what they did. And I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. If they regret what they did, they're going to fly, and they're going to go with that. Because they don't want to look loosey-floosey. They don't want to look like drug addicts or alcoholics, so they're going to say he forced them to drink, he forced them to, snore. I said before, you can't force somebody to do coke. I never seen that, ever. So I think she was too embarrassed to ask for help. That's what I think. If this happened to her. And if this happened to her only with a sleazeball actor, then it's not Manson's problem. So anyway, in this little clip, I'm going to try to do this before an hour. Whoa, my God, 43 minutes. Maybe the secret is to make videos at midnight when I'm tired. So I think they're going shorter. I hope I'm not slurring my words and I don't sound like too tired and you still comprehend and understand what I'm saying. Anyway, so this video, he talks about how cool this place was and how he was getting his friends to collaborate with him, and it makes me sad. It really does. Because it's like they use him big time, I think.
Find interesting and respect in the city of Hollywood, which is a strange place to sort of adapt to. And Hollywood and Berlin, to me, are made very strong references to in a lot of my art, because Berlin being the birthplace of so many great forms of expressionism and art, and Hollywood also being sort of at odds because of the war at the time. There's a parallel, there's a strange combination of the two in my life and in the way that I feel as a person, being essentially born in America in Ohio, but being from Polish ancestry and German essentially. So it's always been a great combination, Berlin and Hollywood, and with living there, it's a little difficult to try and make myself find a place. But this year, going back out, I got to spend time with friends and meet artists that inspired me, make new friends and do collaborations with people that I admire, and Eli Roth was a fan of, and I met him, and we became very close, like best friends, and I've been friends with Johnny Depp since I was 19. I was on 21 Jump Street, but we talked to each other on and off, and if I had not came out of my shell.
He's talking about the place in such a positive light. That's what I'm trying to. The message I'm trying to get to.
I was not keeping myself out of public association, socializing with important things to me, because I wanted to make a place that I live in that was, in some sense, my version of Andy Warhol's factory, where I could invite my friends who are creative over. I've got cameras, I've got lights, I've got smoke machines, I've got movies, I've got books, I've got musical instruments, I've got paint, I've got a bar, I've got whatever you need, and we can just have fun and we can be creative. And so, that led to a lot of great things. And, working with Johnny, we did
a lot of great things. False allegations. See the problem with this? He just opened his place. I mean, I guess it's not a problem, but it's something that it's easier for me to say, oh, I wouldn't do that ever, but maybe I would. So he opened this place, he's saying this in West Hollywood. It's right there. It's in West Hollywood. He's not talking about all the place. And Ashley talks also about West Hollywood. Two Ashleys talk about West Hollywood. And collaborating and going to the false pretense of collaboration, but they're getting raped instead of collaborating. He says right there that he moved there pretty much to kind of hide in plain sight and collaborate with friends. He names Johnny, and that don't mean nothing negative to me. To the contrary. And then he says there's cameras and there's paintings and and I imagine the place to be just open for everybody. Then, if it was open for everybody, where were the dudes? Where the guys at? He says he had a bar in the place, so he's not denying that. Alcohol is not illegal. Last time I checked, I don't drink. It's a pain in the butt. But I mean, he said he had a bar. Not denying that. Cameras. This is almost sounds like the penthouses, less fancy and more kind of edgy and rough. But the penthouses in Johnny Depp, so everybody was staying for free and using his stuff. It sounds like that to me. And it's sad that got misunderstood for a sex dungeon of some kind. So I don't think that he will mention that place if he was hiding something. Crickets. I don't think. And I don't think he would have these people over. He was planning to torture somebody. I don't think he would do this torture and this loud screaming things with his assistant there. He didn't do any of this, but I'm saying, what if? So I think he was just opening his apartment or house to these people. Why he will be talking so freely about it? He doesn't have to. He can keep going with the interview is after or villain. You don't have to talk about his apartment. He's talking about it because I guess it's important for him. And if it was a place that he was hiding in a dungeon, that it was, the bad girl's room and all that, he would not mention it on an interview. I think there's many like that I found, and I really found about myself and trying to be like, man, I need to find something from his mouth, his words, and stop playing Evan and Esme and all that over and over and over. Not like I don't enjoy making fun of them, but I'd rather listen to my own voice than those women. But I wanted to find something from him that he talks about the place. Obviously, he's not saying, oh, I hang out with Ashley Walters, because she's nobody, so he's not going to name her. He names Elia Roth, the director, and Johnny. But the place, he's like describing this place as a really cool place to collaborate and not to be backstabbed and used, And there's more clips and there's more stuff on Evan that I'm not going to play because I don't feel like it. And it's just going to go too long, and it seems like, there's nothing new with her. It's redundant and it's repetitive. With Manson, every week I found something. Because he's so rich on content. With her, I don't fucking found shit. I mean, like, all she posts on her Instagram is stuff that talks about her being a single mom and just feed her ego. So I'm not gonna be posting her unless I have a reason. I'm not scared, but I'm just saying I have a reason to just something new. She's not giving me anything, and I think that she's not gonna give anything because she doesn't have anything. If all her ammunition is the pictures of the with the Nazi knife and saying that he forced her to take those pictures, that's all. If that's her proof, I don't know how she's gonna prove that. That somebody was forced. Who can force you to pose for a picture? There's a lot of pictures from Leslie Lane that she posted on Instagram. Evan is dancing. Evan is hanging out. Evan is drinking. Evan is in different poses in different moments. She's doing karaoke. It doesn't seem forced. So anyway, this less than an hour video. I wanted to talk about a little bit about all of them, but at the same time, I kind of tell you things that I didn't think about it before, or maybe I did unconsciously, didn't just say them. But yeah, there's a lot of inconsistencies. I don't know about the food, where the food was at. There was all the males in there. How the place was really busy in a busy street in West Hollywood, and she couldn't find anybody to ask for help. The idea that he's had of this place was completely different than what happened and what the girls are making it sound. The women are making it sound like it's torture chambers. Anyway, that's it. I just want to do that, and then I'll post it eventually, and it's gonna go with something else that I still don't know what it is, but for sure it's not gonna be Evan, because I mean, I can do that again. I can talk about the heart-shaped glasses and her own sexualization of herself when she was dressed as Lolita when she was 14 or 15, way before she met him. I talk about that until I'm blue in the face. That is my main source right there of stupidity, because I think she's the root of the whole problem. It is not Rose McGowan, and it's not necessarily the Me Too movement. It's too easy to blame it on a group of people, but I think it's her, and it's me, Bianco. So I don't know what the fuck Evan wants, because she doesn't need money, but I do think that she made this law so her girlfriends, the old buddies with her ex-girlfriend, is all related, so her girlfriends 10 years after or 9 years after can complain about him. I think that was the whole point. Like I said, I never seen Evan giving, volunteer in a women's shelter or something, because you will think if she does that, she will broadcast it, like she will be like, oh, I'm here helping out people. I don't see nothing like that on her Instagram. I don't follow her, but I just go and look it up, and there's like nothing. No resources, no videos from her. The only video that she did is the one that she goes, spread that shit around. Tell everybody what's going on with you. Worst advice ever. I know why. Don't spread the shit around. Very dangerous to do that. Go to the police. Anyway, so that's obvious. And thanks for watching my video, my rant. And I'm gonna probably just get some tea and go to sleep eventually. Thank you.